there are 7 classifications when it comes to the packet. 6 types of user. So let's tell you the 7 classifications. Firstly, there is the non-user. That's somebody that's never used, never touched the packet at all. That's a non-user. And then there are 6 classifications of users. So you have the ex-user. That's somebody who used to use but doesn't use anymore. Perhaps they're 6 months clean, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. That's the ex-user, okay? Then you get the occasional user. That's somebody who might use maybe 3 times a year, maybe 4 times a year at the max. That's a rarity. The occasional user is a rarity. And the majority of occasional users become weekend users. So that's occasional user. The next classification is the most common one, the weekend user. This is the person that probably gets on it on a Friday, maybe a Friday and a Saturday, maybe a Saturday and a Sunday, but they're a weekend user. They call themselves a social user. They tend to think they don't have an addiction, but I've got news for you. If you're a weekend user, you've got an addiction. Okay, the next one on the list is the combination user. That's somebody that probably uses on a Friday and a Saturday or a Saturday and a Sunday. They're a weekend user, plus they might use 1, maybe 2 times in the week. That's a combination user. Then you've got the frequent user. The frequent users tend to, if they use during the day, tend to be dry sniffers. They don't tend to use alcohol with it. If they tend to use it after work, again, they tend to be dry sniffers. They may have some drinks occasionally, maybe on the weekend, but not every time. It doesn't mean that every time they use that they need to drink. They mostly become dry sniffers. And a frequent user can be anywhere between 5 and 7 days a week, every week. And then, of course, the last classification is the binge user. That's somebody that might not use for maybe a week or 2 weeks. No, not a week. Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month. Maybe they're a monthly user, 2 monthly user, a 3 month user. But when they use, they tend to do a binge for 2, 3, 4, 5 days at a time. They're on a constant. So those are your classifications of your users. Which user are you? Put your comments below.